So as we look at 10 of the most common smart home devices, I'm going to give you a little take on my own home.
With colbywillentube, and I'd really like for you to like and subscribe to my channel.
So I come up with 10 essential smart home things based on about a dozen or so articles that I looked at. And you can agree or disagree, but I think these are 10 of the most common things you're going to find in a smart home. So if you've watched my other videos, you know I'm not really a tech guru. I don't know a lot about the finer aspects, but I like smart home stuff. I'm a regular person who uses them in my home. I have a busy family, and so we try a lot of these out. And so I'm going to explain a little bit from my perspective each of these devices and how they work, why they're good. Smart speakers are pretty easy, and most of them you can get for under $100, sometimes on sale for like $30. And these can control a lot of things in your house, like lights or other automations that can control smart outlets. So smart speakers can do a lot of little things for you. Personally, I don't love the voice command to make things work, but it's there if you need it. I'm kind of a physical switch pusher kind of guy. So I'm not big on indoor cameras, but outdoor cameras give you a great view of what's going on outside the house. This one actually works by a cellular connection, so even if your power and Wi-Fi are out, this one would still work because it's controlled by a solar panel and recharges the battery. The other two that I'm showing you are Wi-Fi connected cameras, and they also work on solar panels, so they're easy to set up. But again, they just give you the option to see what's happening outside the house and to keep tabs on everything you need to keep tabs on. And so, again, peace of mind. I like to know what's happening outside, and to be able to pick up my phone and check it out, whether I'm home or away, is a good idea. Displays are kind of like a smart speaker with a display. And they'll do a little bit more than the speakers do in that they can control more things. They can act as a hub that I'll talk about later. And so usually the bigger and more expensive they are, the better they sound. This one from Google doesn't have a great sound to it. The bigger one, and I would show it to you, but honestly, I can't find it. But the bigger one from Google actually has a really good sound to it, a pretty good bass sound for a speaker that size, and they work pretty well. Wish I could find it. So I kept doorbell cameras as a separate category because I really like this category and want to emphasize their importance. I'd rather have a doorbell camera than just a freestanding security camera. I just think that they are more practical. It is honestly my favorite smart home device. I have three of them, one on each of our three doors, and I just think that they are very helpful to know what's going on, who's coming and going, to be able to answer the door when you're home or if you're away, and to see who's coming to the door, to know whether to hide or not so that you don't have to go answer when there's a salesman at the door. Smart outlets, smart switches, smart bulbs are really useful, and they're actually one of the more affordable parts of a smart home. It just takes a little bit of thinking about where to put them and how to use them to make them most effective, but I do really like them. When it comes to smart lights, I initially thought that every light in my whole house would be a smart light, but that's a bit of an unattainable goal. And I found that a lot of the lights I was installing, they weren't working all the time, so they just weren't practical. For me, the thermostat is a carrier, so it's not your normal smart thermostat, but it's a smart thermostat made by Carrier and works with my Carrier system. And again, I just like being able to control things from my phone, especially when I'm not home. Thermostat, awesome. A security system in general is about being at peace when you're at home and feeling comfortable with your surroundings. And so the DIY smart home systems to me is the way to go. And so I've been using Ring, and it works all the time. And that's what I like about it. Of all my smart home things that I've bought for 10 years, my Ring security system is the most reliable of anything I own. The other side of the security and safety is having a system with your smoke alarms that ties in. So for me, I've tried a couple different things, but right now I'm just using the Ring listening device, which would notify me if my smoke alarms go off. So my smoke alarms actually aren't smart smoke alarms, but the Ring listener is tied into my smart system. Smart vacuum has to be one of the most popular smart home devices. For us, I could take it or leave it. We don't have the highest end smart vacuum. So what it does is it's almost more of a gimmick than it is a real house cleaning tool. So I don't think anybody out there would say that their smart vacuum or smart mop does a better job than a person does, but they're pretty neat to have around. But do they really do a great job cleaning? Eh, Smart locks are just amazing at what they'll do, and being able to access your home easily and everyone to get in. The keypad, to me, keypad, fingerprint, or something that works with your device, such as a watch or some other tag that gets you in, those just make life easier than trying to have a key and get in. We like to have access to other people who need to be in our home, and it's easy to give them a code, maybe even their own code to get in the door. Of course, you don't have a smart home without having internet coming into your home. And so you're going to have a connection from your local internet service provider. And then to send that signal through your house, you're going to have it set up through a router. And so for me, these are Google Mesh routers. I have 4 of these throughout the house. It's a mesh Wi-Fi system, and it just helps keep a good balance of Wi-Fi signal throughout a house that's a little hard to transmit Wi-Fi through. So this is one hub that came with a set of cameras that I have, and it's just their connection point. They connect through this instead of through another hub that I have. Now the other things, some of the other things I've already shown you are actually hubs. I have a Google hub and I have an Apple hub with my speaker, and things can connect through those. I have an Aqara hub for my Aqara devices, but for this particular device, you had to have a hub for it to work. Some other things you need to read closely. They may require a separately bought hub to make them connect to your system. So hopefully today's video was helpful. Thanks for watching. When you're holding a mug as a prop, always have real liquid in it, because in those commercials, they never look real.